Okay, yeah, I done recorded this video so many times, like I don't fucking know anymore. But I'm doing a video of, let me put my iPad on the charger. I'm doing a video of Cue's self-help book, his 20 statements to survive an awakening, and I'm just breaking them down to my own interpretation of what I feel and think and how I sort of maneuvered these techniques and didn't even know it. Or, sort of did this shit and was aware of it. And what I do kind of know, I feel like we all should, like, as a community, like, come together and make videos or, like something kind of saying our own input and ciphering off of, the ideas of this shit or, like, any shit that man says. Like, because it's not like we have a book club or we have like a place where we all can like get on like a big ass Zoom call and just call each other or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on Clubhouse anymore, so shit. Shit. Like, figure we could do something and like learn off each other in some type of way that's like interactive, or whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the first one. So number one of Cue-ism number one. Okay. Your past is literally behind you unless you bring it forward. Translation: if you can't let go of your past, it will always stay with you. You won't experience a future staying in your past. The goal is simple: to gain freedom from a life of restriction, constantly repeating a moment full of not letting go. You choose to stay or let go. It's completely on you. Okay, so I just want to kind of jump into the word past, because then this connects to time, past and future, you know what I'm saying, and present. And I feel like I'm gonna just kind of say me, because I don't know entirely what all of our ideas are, and I don't know if y'all disagree with me or whatnot, but this is just completely what I feel the fuck. So I feel like the only, time that really matters or space that really matters is the present, right? Because only in the now can you affect the future type shit. And I mean, the past will be looked at as a different experience or have a different tone or harmony to it type shit, depending on how you handle shit, feel about shit in the now, your emotion towards shit in the now. Okay, unless you bring it forward. So those things can only repeat itself unless you bring that up. And then I feel like that kind of ties into memories. So only through memories we can look back in the past and even shit think about the past is through memories, which is connected to emotion. And that emotion is connected to a whole spin of things. Energy, a archetype, a number, a time, a planet. So it can go deeper. So, and then that is all tap into the mind, body, and soul. Because if your mind is in that space, then so is your body. I know your body's gonna be feeling that same shit. Because when you think about something, you feel it, your body literally goes through that same pain. You know what I'm saying? Like when a person has a fucking arm amputated and they still can feel that shit type shit when it's not even there. Like, yeah. And then so you're neglecting what you came here for, which is your blueprint, which is your everything. Like, you really neglecting it and going off and fighting the mission of that energy, whatever it is connected to, which is mama, but what dimension of mama and what place was she in? What was she going through at that time? What space was she in? Okay, so if you can't let go of your past, it will always stay with you. So if you can't let go of something, it's always going to be there with you, obviously. Even generational curses. And I could have a little story about that shit right there. But anyways, you won't experience a future staying in your past. You'll keep on repeating it, like generational curses. And you to gain freedom from a life of restriction, constantly repeating a moment full of not letting go. You choose to stay or let go, it's completely on you. You choose to stay or let go, it's completely on you. It has everything to do with will. If you're able to will your own wills, you will be the will to will you. But anyways, yeah, that has everything to do with you taking power, you finding that confidence, you knowing who yourself is, you sitting and having that talk, you regressing yourself and really breaking yourself down and get into that place. But I wanted to go back to restrictions. And Q has said the only way to fight something is to give it too much of itself. And the only way I was able to overcome restrictions in my life is to put restrictions on the restrictions in my life. I know that doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna kind of break it down. So my story that attaches to this moment is with my family, a generational curse. I won't even say it's a curse. I feel like it's just a generational story, and you can make the story their story or make it your story. It's up to you. Okay, so my grandmother is oh damn, I didn't even think about this though. Okay, so my grandmother's a fire sign. My grandmother's a water sign. I'm a water sign, so is my mother. My dad is a fire sign, so is my grandfather, so is my children's father. I don't know, it just played out like that. And we kind of, my grandmother and grandfather, my grandfather was older than my grandmother, you know, dad was older than my mother, my children's father was older than me. It just got more dramatic as the generations passed by, but we kind of played out this generational story within ourselves, right? And it always had like that fire sign, which was dominating over that water, that, you know, that motherly nurturing energy, to the point where she becomes bitter, she becomes detached from her kids, detached from herself, and kind of blames it all on that masculine energy, which I'm not saying he's not dominating and some of that shit ain't fucked up, but we all take responsibility and what we gotta go through. It was just a generational fucking story repeating this fucking self, like, ugh. So I realized it. I don't know where the fuck my mama and my grandmother, I don't know what the fuck, but how they didn't see the shit, but it was clear as day that I saw the shit that I was repeating it, and I was like, no, I'm disgusted with it myself. My grandmother hated my grandfather to the day he died, and when he died, that bitch still hated him. My mother wished death on my dad. My dad, that man has did his own spill of shit when it comes to my mother. I saw myself stepping into those same repetitive fucking cycles, which was, I thought at the time, inevitable, because I was like, that's just, you know, how men treat us, and that's just what happens to us as women in our family. We have to go through this. No, bitch, that's not my story, and that's not how that's gonna go. I went through sacrifices with that man. I put a lot of shit to the side. I stepped within my power. I even kind of straddled the fence and was, quote unquote, what black men would say, against the black man. I kind of hopped on the bandwagon and tried to put him on child support. But when I went that far and got that man respected me. I don't know what, but I had to think about it. He works for, you know, he has his own thing. He works a regular job for, you know, all that shit. So I know he respects that type of image. So it was just a thing that, like, I had to kind of break some shit down about him, break some shit down about me, really see us for our ugliness, sisses, and our beauty, and really just sit with myself and be like, I'm gonna make the sacrifice for this and for our children and for our relationship, and we're gonna make this happen. Because I knew within he wants to, he just doesn't, you know, he just is who he is. And he doesn't want to find himself. And I'm not going to help niggas find themselves if they don't want to find themselves. That ain't my jam. But yeah, and even that fire sign energy even has tried to attach itself to me even within this year. It was still a battle with that shit. And I won the battle because I'm that bitch, obviously, but no, not even trying to say like that, but even like fire sign men are just, you know, kind of who the fuck. Oh, okay, they still going. Yeah, but even like fire sign men are just, just in my life. My last encounter with a fire sign man, he said I knew too many people, so shit. But I'm a Leo rising, so I mean, it is what it is. You've met your match. But yeah, they just really try to dominate me, even in this year, just not even dominate me at this point, because the last encounter I had, he said I knew too many people. He knew he was wrong. Yeah, and I blocked him. I really didn't even have to take it that far to block him, but I just didn't. He was still watching my stories. I just didn't want him to watch me and put his own. I wanted to be able to shut him out from that, so I'm that bitch. And plus, he threw away my panties. You didn't have to throw away my juicy couture. So, yeah, Ross didn't have that many of those. You didn't have to do that. So, anyways. And if you choose to let it go, like when me and my children's father, we are doing amazing. That nigga be calling me saying, hey, do the kids have enough for Christmas? He's really helping out, like earlier this year, I was homeless and that nigga was not helping me and the kids. I was homeless in a homeless shelter and that nigga was not helping. I turned all that shit around and that nigga pays my rent. And then asked, do I need anything else? I ain't even got to reach out and find my way to that nigga. So it's things like this, once you let shit go and you be like, okay, no, I'm going to do this, step within my power, know who I am. And I honestly know, and I didn't even say it, but it's deeper. I honestly really only know that whole shit because when I had my regression with Q, I was Oya, which, damn, who was my motherfucking creators? Yeah, Niyah and Oshun, my creators. But anyways, I was Oya and Shango was in my regression. And that nigga was definitely a dominating energy. And he low-key was a lost boy who needed to be loved and needed to take responsibility for his bullshit. And when I gave my children's father that same type of love, and because I've been doing it in a nurturing, loving way, and it's been beating me the fuck up. But when I did it in a get your shit together, mommy gonna dog you the fuck out and then hug you afterwards, bitch, I got what the fuck I deserve. So, and I didn't do it with no anger attached to it. My only focus was my girls. It wasn't even me. Because, like, fuck me. If I didn't have the girls, like, I'm pretty sure I'd be, like, in this hoe, juking and jiving. Like, the girls really slowed the bitch down. Because I really probably would have been in a pen, you know? I would have been one of these pen-ass goddess. I would have been a goddess in a pen. But, like, my kids really slowed me down, so... And... Because I'm really fearless in real life. So, yeah. Bitch, we're here. And my whole focus was my children and the nurturing of them and my love for them and the love that I know he has for these girls, because that nigga has did his own sacrifices within himself for me and the girls. I don't doubt that nigga at all. He's an amazing father, amazing man. Now, is he the best lover? Not for me. But he's an amazing man, amazing father. We just, who we are. But we definitely have a beautiful friendship, bitch. Like, I'm able to, like, do what I need to, and he will help. So, even with the masculine energies that do kind of play off his same type of archetype and energy. Off that Shango shit, like, that dominating shit. It's like, bitch, I see you. Do you want a hug? Do you want to come and drink from this fountain? Oh, I thought so. And obey. So, because this is nothing but love here. Mama know best. But yeah, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and do like section 2 later on. But yeah, restrictions with restrictions. Then you get what you need to in life when you restrict the restrictions. Hello.